Oh, let me check my microphone. Everything's all right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I know today's video is a little bit late, but you got it.
Yes.
So we left off yesterday and we discussed the benediction of the children of Israel from Jacob when he was now down in Mitzrayim, which is the west, but Egypt, okay? The land of Kemet, Egypt. And so now he has told them not only the blessing upon each of them, but the end of days that was to come.
Yes.
So not only from now this experience, because they're not in captivity yet, that's about to come into the process, but for the end of the captivity from Mitzrayim, from the west. So now that we are discussing it, we left off on what verse?
We're starting on verse 14, sir.
Verse 14. So now they have now buried Abraham. They have buried
Isaac.
Isaac. And they are now buried Jacob. And they are all present here in the tomb of the forefathers.
Yes.
Now, most people think when they say the tomb of the forefathers, they think F-O-R-E. But it's not. It's the tomb of the forefathers. So if you notice the blessing upon Ephraim and Manasseh, that they take the name Israel, so they are the only tribe that is actually called Israeli, Bani Israel, Beta Israel. The only tribe is those tribes from Jacob's now blessing upon them. Every other tribe is called either after that tribe's name, or they can refer to the father's house that they come from.
Yes.
Okay? So when you saw Judah or Jehuda, it depending on how you guys pronounce it wherever you are, but it's Yeyada, it was Yeyadin. So now you know the difference between when you're talking in the land, in the native language, in the native tongue, and translating from English, right?
Yes.
So we've reviewed that part. So now we're going to pick up, and Joseph's on the way back to Egypt,
Yes.
and we're going to pick up the story from here.
Okay. And Yosef returned to Mitzrayim, he and his brethren, and all who went up with him to bury his father after they had buried his father.
Okay, so now they at the tomb right here, not too far, maybe 20 minutes from here, right? The tomb of the forefathers. Now, after Joseph died, Joseph will be buried here by Moses when they come up out of the land of Egypt. They bury him here again. They put Joseph's bones in the tomb of the forefathers. So there's Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph buried there.
And Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, and that he, Joseph, did not return to eat together with them. And they said, perhaps Joseph ill, bring upon us all retaineth enmity against us, and will bring upon us all the evil that we did him. And they instructed Bilhah to say to Joseph, your father commanded before his death to speak to you.
Okay, so now the brothers, now that Joseph has received the father's blessing and the father's birthright, the brothers now come to him honoring the father's instruction, but they are afraid.
Yes.
So they send Bilhah and say, they want to know, what say you, since you're now the presiding king of the family. You hold the birthright.
Mhm.
So since you are the one holding the birthright, what say you at this time?
Thus shall you say to Yosef, forgive now the guilt of your brethren and their sin, for they committed evil against you. But forgive, I beseech you, the guilt of the servants of Allah of our father, of your father. And Yosef wept when they spake with him.
So now they come to him and they're asking him for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't understand the situation, so first, when they coming out, they send Judah down first, and Judah's responsibility is to establish the house and the land where the family is going.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph has already pre-prepared to receive them and set up Goshen. So now Judah's going down. He sees the land. He starts to build the house and get the house situated for the family to come in.
Yes.
They set up the arrangement with Pharaoh because they want to keep their customs and traditions while in Egypt. Now that they've all settled in, they've buried their father, they've gone through this whole 70-day ordeal. They're going back down. And where's Joseph? Joseph is still in the house of Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
They now separated in Goshen, and they are concerned for their well-being because now they are delivered into Joseph's hand.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to produce an element of fear, of concern. We're not in our original land. I don't have my full right, and he now has the birthright of the family, and we did him wrong.
Yes. Yes, they're
Right?
still carrying the guilt.
They're carrying the guilt, and Joseph, when he hears this, he weeps.
Yes.
Right? Now, why is Joseph weeping? We need to read to find out.
And his brethren came also and bowed themselves before him and said, behold, we are your servants. And Yosef said to them,
So now they submit themselves
Yes.
to Joseph and his leadership.
Yes.
Okay? They submit themselves to his leadership and whatever he says to them. This is important because you see this happen repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
When the Most High is with Abraham, they have to submit to Abraham. When the Most High is with Isaac, they have to submit to Isaac. The Most High with Jacob, they have to submit to Jacob. When the Most High was with Noah, they have to submit to Noah. You have to accept what the provision is and who the Most High is with if you want to receive the blessing that is with or upon that person.
Yes.
This is going to happen, but maybe I'm wrong, okay? Maybe I'm wrong. But we're getting ready to start the book of Hashemite, the book of the Exodus, right? But if you want to know, Hashemite is about the Hashemite people leaving Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
The word Exodus is actually a European word, which is for a mass group of migration.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that word for Exodus. Our word for Exodus comes from the word Hajj, right? Hajj, Hajj. Abraham went on a pilgrimage, a Hajj. Jacob goes on a pilgrimage. This is also, he calls it his Hajj. But the word for Exodus is not Hajj.
No.
It's Shemit. So the Exodus is the Shemit, which is also like the land of Jordan, the Shemit kingdom of Jordan. Why? It's the race of the people who come from the same house of Terah, this house of Abraham, the house of Nahor, the house of Haran, going all the way back up to Shem, who they called Hashem, the Shem, the first one. Because, people recycle names around here.
Yes, they do.
So you need to know which Shem we're talking about, the son of Noah.
Right. So it's the name. No, it's Hashem, his actual name is Shem.
Right. So that's how you come to get to this point. Moving forward.
And Yosef said to them, "Fear not, for I will not do you evil, but good, for I fear and humble myself before Yah."
Okay, so now Joseph is afraid to do evil to his brethren. Right? So he says, "For I fear and humble myself before Yah, or before Allah. Ittaqun Allah. I have the fear of God." This fear, he knows everything that has happened to him, the Most High has orchestrated.
Yes.
And regardless to all the wrong that his brothers have done, he is not here to punish them. They have their own punishment coming from the Most High, and that is already set. He is here for redemption. He is here to gather them, keep them together for a preservation. So he understands what his instruction is as given to him by his father.
Yes.
Okay? Continue.
"You indeed imagine against me evil thoughts, and that when I did not recline with you to eat it was because I retained enmity against you. But the word of Yah thought on me for good. For my father hath caused me to sit at the head."
His father caused him to sit at the head. He tells them straight out, "You are imagining that I'm sitting down and reclining to think about evil thoughts against you." This is not what his thinking is. It's not.
No.
You see what I'm saying? He says, "But the word of Yah did this for good."
Right.
I'm in a good position. I'm sitting at the head. I have the birthright. I have everything, but it's not for evil against you.
Right.
There is a written law, a written instruction for you, for your preservation. So let's continue.
"And on account of his honor I received, but now not for the sake of my own righteousness or merit was it given me to work out for you deliverance this day for the preservation of much people of the house of Yaqub."
See? For preservation.
That's our salvation, is the preservation.
The preservation of a people, of much people of the house of Yaqub, the house of Jacob. See? So you're thinking one thing, you're imagining one thing, and that's really just the guilt. The brothers are guilty, they were wrong in what they had done. But that has no bearing on Jacob, on Joseph, on what he must do and how he must perform and how he must act towards his brethren. This is the truth, and anybody who wishes to come and sit at the head at any time, you must have this understanding. You are governed by the instruction. Everyone is under the law. But according to where you sit in the returning to the people, you must understand that there is an instruction for that position, and you are not allowed to go outside to break the law for any reason. Continue.
And now, fear not. I will sustain you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spake consolation to their hearts.
Consolation.
That word again.
I like this word consolation.
Yeah,
you see this?
Yeah.
This word consolation, the comfort received by a person after a loss or disappointment.
Yeah.
It's consolation.
Yeah.
See? So he gives them comfort.
Yes.
He makes them comfortable. Okay? Now, when you're talking about returning to the land, the instruction that is given for you to follow in your giving, for you to follow in your returning, is for you to have comfort. The preservation must be large. And so the obedience and the steps of it also must be large.
Yes.
You see, Noah didn't build a little rowboat to survive the flood. He had to build a large preservation. It took much time and much effort, and it cost him a lot. Tools, resources, everything. It cost him. It's going to cost us the same to have a preservation. It will not be cheap. However, it is necessary so that when you get off the plane, when you arrive here, we have a provision for you. So we have to have the farms. We have to have the cattle, the cows, the sheep, the rams, the goats, and believe it or not, if you don't have it, it counts against us all. Like it hurts us all if we don't have it. If we do have it, it blesses us all. And it blesses the one that come and don't have and the ones that do have.
Right.
There are all kinds of people coming, the ones we know about, the ones we don't know about, and all kinds of surprises. When you guys reach out to me and you tell me that what about the strangers and the widows and the orphans and what about the servants and all of this, all of those people are sustained by the provision. If you don't have the provision, it makes it impossible to sustain anyone. You see?
Yes.
So when you see Joseph's work, Joseph prepared Goshen when he went down to Goshen to receive his brethren, knowing that the prophecy was they have to go down into Egypt and it would go and be overturned into a captivity later. So after you see the prophecy and you know that this is what you have to do, what do you have to do? You have no choice. You have to follow the instruction. Nothing against nobody.
Yeah, just like we have to come back here to Jordan. Here is where the sanctuary is to be built and to be established. We are to buy the land and return back to the customs and ways of our fathers. This is what is written. This is not just a plan out of the wind. This is what was instructed for this particular time for us as a people.
If you don't listen, you're going to get caught in the storm. And I understand we're going to lose a lot of people. That's inevitable. But we're also going to end up saving and preserving a lot.
Yeah.
Okay? We're talking about this is lined up and designated to be a 40-year process.
Yes. 40 years. Yes. Yes.
The 40-year process. There's nothing any of us could do about it. That's what the instruction and the prophecy says. That's what it's going to be. Our forefathers have never lied.
No, they haven't.
Never. Everything that they have said is true. So we're going to continue now. Let's see what else now, because we're back now into after the benediction of Jacob, Yaqub, we are now going to continue in Joseph's judgment until the judgment change. It'll go to another.
Yes. And Yosef dwelt in Mitzrayim, he and his father's house. And Yosef lived 110 years. And Yosef saw Ephraim, children of the third generation, also the sons of Machir, the son of Manasseh, when they were born, were circumcised by Yosef. And Joseph said to his brethren, behold, I die. But Yah remembering will remember you and will bring you up from this land into the land which he sware to Ibrahim, to Isaac, and to Jacob. And Joseph adjured the sons of Israel.
Okay, now we have to pay careful attention. The word adjuration is a firm and stern word of warning. So now they have to pay attention to this. You need to know the details, because he's saying, listen, I'm dying. This is my word now as head of house.
Yes.
And you need to understand where things are going as the Most High has revealed them to me after I have completed my course and fulfilled my journey. So let's see what this adjuration is.
The sons of Israel to say to their sons.
Okay, so he's saying the sons of Israel, everybody of the 12, say this to your sons. So this is to the next and the next generation.
Behold, you will be brought into servitude in Mitzrayim.
So now they in Mitzrayim, but they're not in servitude.
Yes.
The servitude is yet coming. So now this is not part of the 400-year captivity.
No.
The 400-year captivity is a latter event. A different generation will experience it. However, this is the demonstration of it.
Yes. But you shall not presume to go up out of Mitzrayim until the time that two deliverers shall come and say to you, remember ye Yah. And at that time, when you go up, ye carry up my bones from hence.
So now he's telling you two deliverers is coming up to deliver you.
Yep. Musa and
we know that this is Musa and Aaron. Right? Now, when we get later on, Moses and Aaron, Aharon, Musa and Aharon, Moses and Aaron, they're going to say, why are you sending us? There's two others you supposed to send. We're going to get there one step at a time, one day at a time. We're getting ready to go now, and we're talking about that's a few chapters later. We're going to get there. So come on.
And Yosef died, the son of 110 years, and they embalmed him with perfumes and laid him in an ark and submerged him in the midst of the Nilos, the Nile of Mitzrayim.
Okay, so they buried Joseph in the Nile River. Okay?
Wow.
Now, this story is not new. Because if you have a Quran, it says the same thing.
Yes.
They buried Joseph in the Nile. Okay, but Moses will take him from there and he buries him here in the tomb of the forefathers. All right, we'll be back right after this. All right, picking up where we left off, continuing.
And these are the names of the sons of Israel who went into Mitzrayim with Jacob.
Okay, so here we are again, and they take it in another count.
Each with the men of his house entered in: Reuben, Simeon, Lawi, Yeyada, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Ashur. And the number of all the souls coming from the thigh of Jacob, 70 souls, with Joseph and his sons, who were in Mitzrayim. And Joseph died, and after him died all his brethren and all that generation.
Okay, so now Joseph and all that generation dies, and there were 70 souls with Joseph and his sons who were in Mitzrayim, right? And notice everybody said, it says, look at this word, because everybody missed it, thigh. See? Put your hand upon my circumcision. They put it upon the thigh. They're not juggling coconuts or nothing.
Right.
They're not touching. Just put it on the thigh. They come from the thigh. And now we are beginning. Well, actually, we are already in. Because as you can clearly see, you see how this started Exodus 1 over here?
Yes.
I want to show you something. If you have this book,
That's right.
they stopped and then they created the book of Exodus, but the books of Exodus is actually attached
to better sheet.
Okay?
They're like one book.
They are one book. This is actually one book. But when they split it, they call it the Exodus story. But the word for it, this actual arc, is called Hashemite. The Hashemite people leaving out of the west, out of Mitzrayim. Okay? So if you just read it with us, you got the book, you're going to see there's some chapters and verses over here. Now you come over here and we at
verse 7.
Verse 7.
Starting at verse 7.
Right.
See? Verse 7.
So now let's take a look.
And the souls of Israel increased and multiplied children and became strong and prevailed greatly, and the land was filled with them.
Okay, so now they become strong. What are they strong in? Cattle, sheep, oxen, everything else. And they prevailed greatly. Did they conquer Egypt? No. There was a lot of them.
Yes.
And they had a lot of stuff.
Yes.
They didn't conquer the land. They didn't take over the government. The same way you can't conquer the land and take over the government now.
Right.
So the land was filled with them the same way you fill all the other lands that we are in.
And there arose a new king, other than he who was formerly over Mitzrayim, who took no knowledge of Joseph and walked not in his laws.
Okay, so now there's a new pharaoh in town, and he don't care nothing about Joseph.
Right.
And he's not following any of Joseph's previously established laws.
Right.
I don't know about it. I don't know about him. I don't know about nothing. This is how I'm doing things around here. The same way the U.S. does every time they get a new president.
Yeah.
All the old stuff go out, and you be looking like, well, we hope this one does this for us. Here you go. Welcome to the West. That's how they do things.
Yes.
So now let's take a look.
And he said to his people, behold now, the people of the house of Israel are many and are stronger than we.
Okay, so now he says there's too many of y'all, and if you and at this time they organized. So now he's conjuring up a false accusation, like Israel's coming up to rise up against him to take over his country,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not true.
And you see, he addressed them, the people of the house of the house of Jacob, of Israel, not calling them Israel.
Right, it's the house, the people of the house, the family.
Right, known by the father's name.
Right. Bani Israel, not Israelite.
Hebrew Israelite.
Continue.
Come, let us take counsel against them in these matters, to diminish them, that they multiply not, so as that, should war be arrayed against us, they be not added to our adversaries, and destroy us, that not one of us be left, and they afterward go forth from the land.
So now this is what this man said. This man says, hey, we need to go and have a secret council. And now we are going to talk about how we're going to reduce their numbers, how we kill them to bring them down so that they cannot war against us. Now, they haven't done nothing.
Right, they were just there.
We just
Growing.
here waiting. But Joseph told them,
Yeah.
hey, this going to happen. And he knows it from multiple sources. He got the information from the butler who came up.
Yes.
And he's got the information
From the baker and everything.
from the baker. And then he got the information from his father when his father just told him. And now this is kind of with him. And he like, listen, I told y'all this was going to happen. And it's meant to happen. So here it is. It's going down. So they don't want them to war against them. Now they worried about somebody else coming in, tapping them on the shoulder and saying, listen, before anybody else, you guys are down here, you become great. You know, we could take down Pharaoh and his people with your people if they're willing to fight. And then after you fight, you can leave. That's what they said. Now, there's nowhere mentioned that this was what their intention was. But because they're doing this because of this premonition. Now, remember this premonition because it comes back later. Go ahead.
And they set over them workmasters to afflict them in their servitude. And they builded walled cities to become Pharaoh's treasure places, Tanis and Pelusin.
So now they change and they build wall cities and they become treasure houses, Tanis and Pelusin. Now, Pelusin was where they were originally went down to. They went down to Pelusin, which is in the Sinai Peninsula. And now they were in Goshen.
Yes.
So they were moving around. And they stopped all of this and changed the spacing. So let's see what they do. They put them to work. Come on over here to Cairo, and you're going to work now. You're going to do this and this and this. All right.
Bribed them with money. But as much as they depressed them, so much they multiplied, and so much they prevailed. And the mystery were troubled in their lives before the sons of Israel.
So they started getting drowned out. They started getting drowned out. Okay, let's see what happens next.
And the mystery enslaved the sons of Israel and made their lives bitter by hard service in clay and bricks, and all the labor of the face of the field, and in all the work which they made them do was hardness.
So they made them do all the hard labor, all the hard work, everything. And they was like, here, all the labor, all the hard manual labor, you can have all of this.
And Pharaoh told that he, being asleep, had seen in his dream. And behold, all the land of Mizraim was placed in one scale of a balance, and a lamb, the young of a sheep, was ill the other scale, and the scale with the lamb in it overweighed. Forthwith he sent and called all the magicians of Mizraim.
So here come the teachers. Okay, here come the magicians. All right, let's see what they got to say now.
And imparted to them his dream. Immediately, Yanis and Yanbres, the chief of the magicians.
Again, this is Janus. You know him from Roman mythology. They called his month now January. And Jambres, the chief of the musicians, opened their mouth and answered to Pharaoh. So now these Laban's sons, it's their time to shine. Laban in the background, and he's helping them with this. Go ahead.
A certain child is about to be born in the congregation of Israel, by whose hand will be destruction to all the land of Mizraim. Therefore did Pharaoh, king of Mizraim, give counsel to Yehudith midwives. The name of one whom was Shifra, who is Yocheved, and the name of the other Puba, who is Miriam, her daughter.
So Shifra and Puba is Miriam.
Yes, that's it.
Right. And they gave counsel they called them the Yayadit. See? The Yayadit midwives. Yayadit. Not Judith. Not Yehudith. Yayadit. And you can remove the first Ye, right? And it's just Yadit.
Yadid.
The first Y can be silent. This happened in linguistics. It's a there, but we did
Yadid.
Yadit. It's a there. It's a small one, especially out here. So the Yadit midwives, and this is Shifra and Puba. Okay.
And he said, when you attend Yadith women and see them bear, if it be a male child, you shall kill him. But if a daughter, you may let her live. But the midwives feared before Yah and would not do according to what the king of Mizraim had said to them, but they saved the children.
So they stopped going down to Planned Parenthood and having abortions. Good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's look at this And now you see why Jochebed mentioned is because she become a pillar to the sons of Israel, to the people. And being a pillar, she now receives an instruction and she acts wisely. She comes up with something, but she's not doing that. I'm not doing that at all.
And the king of Mizraim called the midwives and said to them, why have you done this thing and have saved the children? And the midwives said to Pharaoh, the Yadith women are not as the Mitzri, for they are sturdy or courageous and wise-minded. Before the midwife cometh to them, they lift up their eyes in prayer, supplicating mercy before their Father who is in heaven, who heareth the voice of their prayer, and at once they are heard and bring forth and are delivered in peace.
He said, listen, when we go to help them give birth, do they give birth by themselves and they walk off before we even can arrive to do anything to assist them. They not like the Egyptian women when they give birth, they just lay around. So you have to look at this, and now this is the story they come up with for Pharaoh, and this suffices to Pharaoh, nonetheless. Because what happened was the women, since they know this the plan, everybody is helping everybody and covering to preserve the children. They want to protect the children. Now I want you to understand they're calling these people Yadi. Right? So the Yadi people, they're calling them this. Why? Joseph gone, right? And so where does the kingship go? According to Jacob's judgment, the kingship is with Joseph, but while Joseph lets live, they in Joseph's hand power and he is the head. Now that Joseph has passed, it passes now to Judah and they called Yadid. Still not Israelites.
No Israelite. No.
So now they're in Egypt and they call the Yadid people because this is who's in charge at the moment.
And we'll let that soak a minute.
I'm hoping they catch something. Yadid.
Yadid.
Please catch this. I know you don't want to listen. I know you don't want to accept what I'm telling you. I know you just want to,
do what you want.
Do what you want, say what you want. You want to be what everybody else say. You want to be called whatever you feel is popular. I'm not here to satisfy your popular. We're here to iron out the technical details so that when you come back, you'll have understanding and know how to talk so that you don't sound like an idiot and you're not marked for departure.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes, it is.
So let's continue.
And Yah did good to the midwives, and the people multiplied and prevailed greatly.
So now prevailing means simply they're giving birth and multiplying more numbers despite the hardships.
Right.
It's to overcome a hardship or an obstacle. Now we have done this around the world. So now when I say, let us return home, it is the time. Everybody should be jumping for joy, but you're not.
Right.
Okay, let's continue.
And for as much as the midwives feared before Yah, they obtained for themselves a good name unto the ages.
So this is why Miriam and Jochebed so important. Even when you come back, there is those who are redeemers that go through the proper process will be considered again as virgins under the Jochebed law. Now I read that. I read it. Right? The widows, the orphans, this. When they come in, they go through this process. They have their rules. But if you go through this process, even though you are a redeemer, you can be considered like a virgin. You can go back even to the man that you loved and lost in that time. Jochebed did it. She was returned like unto her virginity. She returned to her husband because the hardship of Pharaoh was upon them in that time. So these is pillars. They have a good name unto the ages. Jochebed and Miriam. We'll be right back after this. All right, so they got a good name for themselves. We're back. I put on a sweater because I had some other stuff to do, but moving forward,
Okay. And for as much as the midwives feared before Yah, they obtained for themselves a good name unto the ages.
Unto the ages, meaning it's lasting
Yes.
today. I know some people got a problem. They be like, really, they be disrespecting, my forefathers and foremothers. Like, really, they be saying some real slick
stuff, yeah.
sideways things. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you know, I'm not having it. Okay. Like, hey, this is my father. Don't be disrespectful. If you want to know the story, let's go through it and then make a judgment. Don't come out here with you heard somebody say. Okay? You need to come out here and you gotta kind of learn. All right?
And the word of Yah upbuilded for them a royal house.
A royal house?
Yes. Even the house of the high priesthood.
So there's two houses.
Two houses.
Built from these two women. So there's a royal house. The kingship come from here.
Yes.
And even the high priesthood. So this comes from Jochebed and Miriam. And it comes from Exodus chapter 1 and verse 21. You see that?
Yes.
So now we have an issue. We have two Levite women, and we have to figure out how this gonna come about. The high priesthood have to come from here, and the kingship have to come from here, out of the house of Levi. The covenant is upon these two women. So these women have to be careful about who they're going to marry at this time.
Oh, yeah.
They have to marry that is congruent according to the covenant that is upon their wombs.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yes, sir.
So you can't tell me you a queen and you out there with scammers. You out there with whatever. You have to come in and it has to be a prince. It has to be someone of the birthright to receive that. Now, when I say the birthright, okay, there is a birthright in every family. All right. I have my family's birthright. Okay. Our land, our organization, I have a birthright. Every man get some manner of a birthright. Understand that. But the birthright of the kingship, you have to marry someone who is of the club, right? It's like a club. That's the best way I could kind of explain it. There is another brotherhood, another order. And if you get regular, and it don't mean rich.
No, not at all.
If you get regular, you got regular. You have null and voided out your own covenant by your own actions. Because when it comes to the kingship, the crown fall where the crown fall.
Yes.
All right?
Just listening, I think about the question that you posed the other day.
Mm-hmm.
What makes a man of God?
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, I hope you heard what I just said. Something I just really want you to think about
It's
and
not something you
consider.
can claim.
No,
You have to ask some hard questions about that.
you really do.
Okay? Where does the people of Most High live? Because they have a land.
Yeah.
If you're not on it, you have negated the
Mm,
man of God status. Step one,
right.
right? What do the people of God, what are they given to do? If you're not doing it, because it's not preaching,
No.
it's not saying this is how you become successful in today's modern world. You're supposed to be farming and shepherding. If you're not doing it, and that's not pastoring a church.
Or keeping the law.
No,
That don't make you a man of God.
you're supposed to be farming in the land. So if you're not farming in the land, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So
Gotta ask these questions, ladies.
and then you also have to ask how to do
Do
it.
it. Yes.
So if you don't know, because you're not from here, right? So you
Right.
obviously don't know how to do it here, because
Yeah.
it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. Believe me. You get off it look like some parts of the states. However, it
It
ain't.
ain't. It ain't. It looks, but it ain't.
It ain't. It ain't organized like it. The streets don't flow like it. Believe me.
No, it's another ball game. Whole nother ball game.
You could be lost right where you are. Well, I know where I am. I just don't know how to get out or how to get over. Or the streets here is so crazy. Oh, whew. You need GPS.
Yes, you do.
All right. All right. Continuing on.
But when Pharaoh saw this, he commanded all his people, saying, every male child that is born to the
Yadi.
Yehudi,
Yadi.
you shall cast into the river, but every daughter you may spare.
Mm-hmm.
And Amram, a man of the tribe of Lawi, went and returned to live in marriage with Jochebed, his wife.
All right. So Jochebed is married to Amram. So now from Jochebed and Amram, the high priesthood have to come out of here, which is the last and final house, right? A new separate tribal clan from the house of Levi. So you have Merari, Kehath, and Amram. These three sons. Each one is given a side, right? One on the north, one on the south, and one on the west. Now, from what Jochebed give birth to, at some point out of this comes the high priesthood house, and they will encamp on the east.
With
And the high priesthood and the kingship encamp together, separate from their brethren. Right? So the high priesthood and the kingship encamp to the east, before and in front of the house of Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. I don't like it, but we read it in the law. But this is the facts.
Yep, it's how it's set up.
All right?
Whom he had put away on account of the decree of Pharaoh. And she was the daughter of 130 years when he returned to her. But a miracle was wrought in her, And she returned unto youth as she was. When in her minority, she was called the daughter of Lawi.
Mm-hmm.
And the women conceived and bare a son. The woman conceived and bare a son at the end of 6 months. And she saw him to be a child of steadfastness or of steadfast life, and hid him 3 months, which made the number 9. But she could conceal him no longer, for the Mitzri had become aware of him. And she took an ark of
Papyrus.
tunes, and coated it with bitumen and pitch.
Okay, so she waterproofed it. But let's slow down, right?
Yes, sir.
So you hear this story.
Yeah.
So this Jochebed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the miracle that happens for Jochebed, so that you know we're talking about the same one, we read about the miracle when it happened in Numbers.
Yes.
It happened to them, and they were not in Egypt.
Right.
But they're trying to let you know, like, here at this time, she was with Amram. Pharaoh made her separate from Amram. He had divorce decrees and trying to put all his power in the women's hands. And you can't have multiple wives. You can only have one, and this, that, and the third. And she's has all these other children in the separation. Then she goes back, is restored to her youth as a daughter again, right? And she takes back her husband, and this is a miracle that's performed for Jochebed. Jochebed's miracle will be upon the women who come and go through the redemption law. Okay? Now she has a son, and she says his name is Steadfastness. You know steadfastness, not Musa, right?
No.
The steadfast, not Musa.
No. Musa was given by Pharaoh's daughter.
Nah. His father gives him a name too. He has multiple names.
The nurse even gave him a name.
Right? He born premature. Right? 6 months early. But he come out and she nursed him for another 3 months, get him, nursed up. And then she sent him up the river.
Right. And Miriam, his sister, stood at a distance to take knowledge of what would be done to him.
So she's watching the ark float up the river and from the bank, and she's following it.
And the word of Yah sent forth a burning sore and inflammation of the flesh upon the land of Mitzrayim.
So here comes a plague upon Mitzrayim. They got nothing to do with Moses.
No.
So just to show you, the Most High be sending all of this stuff, and y'all be blaming it on everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to refresh herself at the river. And her handmaids, walking upon the bank of the river, saw the ark among the reeds, and put forth the arm and took it, and were immediately healed of the burning and inflammation.
So now they have burning and inflammation. They take the ark, and the Most High heals the nurses for taking the ark. This have nothing to do with Moses, but the Most High is doing this so that they take kindness to this boy.
That's right.
That he may have favor among these people.
Right. Right, because the decree was to cast them into the river to kill them.
So she put him in the river.
Yeah, she did. She put them in the river.
And she,
But in an ark of safety.
right, in an ark.
An ark of safety.
I'll put him in there, but I'll put him in there in an ark.
Which we're building here.
So now when they stretched forth their hands and they touched the ark, they were healed. So now you can see there's preservation with arks.
Yes.
So we have the Ark of Noah, then we have the smaller Ark of Moses. Now we have an Ark of the Covenant. What is inside it? There's no person in this ark. Oh, the laws, customs, and traditions. Okay? So that when you get them back, it will be reestablished with you. Not saying we don't have it now. I need you to understand this. Like, the only thing the Most High wanted to preserve till now was those three things. So now that I'm here teaching it and bringing you back into the land, I'm here to prepare you to receive again the Ark of the Covenant, to open it. And after it's open, it won't be of any importance to you. The contents will be removed. Okay? Continue.
And she opened and saw the child, and behold, the babe wept, and she had compassion upon him, and said, "This is one of the children of Yadi." And his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "May I go and call for you a nursing woman from the Yehudis,
From the Yadis.
to suckle the baby for thee?" And Pharaoh's daughter said, "Go." And the damsel went and called the child's mother.
All right.
And the daughter of Pharaoh said, "Take this child and suckle it for me, and I will give you your wages." And the woman took the child and suckled him.
All right. Now she's getting paid
to feed her baby.
to feed her own baby. Boy, the Most High got some tricks.
That's right.
All right. Continue.
And the child grew and was brought to Pharaoh's daughter, and he was beloved by her as a son. And she called his name Musa, because, said she, "I drew him out of the water of the river." And in those days, when Musa was grown up, he went forth to his brethren and saw the anguish of their souls and the greatness of their toil. And he saw a mystery man strike a...
See, right here, this is when they white. The white people, they come put their mess in here. It ain't found nowhere else in the book.
Nope.
Right? But you saw him strike what would have been a Shami
man of his brethren. And Musa turned and considered in the wisdom of his mind, and understood that in no generation would there arise a proselyte from that mystery man, and that none of his children's children would ever be converted. And he smote the Mizraite and buried him in the sand.
So now Moses turned and considered in the wisdom of his mind and understood something. He understands this man who struck down and killed this brother of mine can never enter into the congregation. Never. Right? Meaning he can never be preserved. He can never take a daughter. He cannot survive in the end of days. Just kill him now. He cannot have nothing ever. Even when we leave Egypt, this man line finished.
And he went out the second day and looked, and behold, Dathan,
Dathan
and
and Abiram.
Abiram.
So Abiram, right? You've seen this here, right? Like Abi Bakr,
Yes.
right? The son of Bakr.
Yes.
You see this here. Now you know this the son of Ram. So you know he's from Judah.
Yes.
So this Dathan and Abiram, you know, good friends of Karun, which is how they say it in Arabic, but we say Korah. So Korah.
Men of Yadi contended. And seeing Dathan put forth his hand against Abiram to smite him, he said to him, Wherefore dost thou smite your companion? And Dathan said to him, Who is he who hath appointed you a chief man and a judge over us?
You hear that all the time.
Yeah. With you kill me, say he, as you did the Mitzray? And Musa was afraid and said, Verily, the thing has become known.
So now, guess what? It is Musa's own brothers, his people.
Own people.
Right now, these come up later in the battle with Korah again.
Yep, and get them. Yep.
Again,
Sure
because they
did.
don't want to follow instructions and they don't want somebody else to be your charge. And I could follow my own and I could do my own thing. Like they know what they're doing and they don't. So now they're snitching on Moses. They want to go call the popo on Musa. We'll be right back.
Or was able to entice them to follow.
So now Moses is sticking up for his people and trying to do what's right for them, even if it's by one man. And his own people want to turn him into the popo because now they think we are all equal. We are all but Egyptians. We are the same. Right? We are all the same. We all come from the same. Everybody's the same. Stop lying, man. We're not the same.
No, we're not.
Okay? And we're not special for any gifts or talents.
That's right.
Or anything else. Okay?
That's right.
It doesn't work like that. It ain't because you have this gift or you this strong or you better at sports or none of those things even matter. All of those things are worthless.
Yep.
The only thing that mattered is piety. How well do you keep the laws of the Most High and that He bless you?
Yeah.
So let's continue.
And Pharaoh heard this thing.
So now Pharaoh heard from the snitches
and sought to kill Musa.
and sought to kill Musa.
And Musa escaped before Pharaoh to dwell in the land of Midian, and he sat by a well.
So he escaped and he arrives in Midian and sat by a well. Do you know in Mount Zion, right? There are 3 wells. There are 3. Right? 2 of them are dry, and one of them has water, but it is hidden. So while I was living there, there's a well there. Now this is not Midian land. I get to Midian later, but I'm just saying.
And the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew and filled the watering troughs.
He says, and the who?
The priests.
So Midian have a priest. What? So again, I told you they have their own imams. They have their own priests. They have their own everything.
To give drink to the flocks of their father.
So here we go. Now, these daughters is a working. You see it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, let's see what happened.
But the shepherds came and drave them away. And Musa arose in the power of his might and rescued them and gave the flocks drink.
So now these daughters come to Midian. They come, he sit by a well, and now they come to get water, and the men come and run the girls off and don't let their flocks drink because they want water first, which is how they drive out here. They drive just like that, me first. They have no patience. They're not good with speed. So Moses rises up and corrects them and chastises them and gives the flocks of the daughters water.
And they came to Reuel, their grandfather, who said to them, "How is it that you are come so early today?" And they replied, "A Mitzrayim man not only delivered us from the hand of the shepherds, but also himself drew and watered the flock."
So now they call Moses a Westerner.
Mm-hmm.
So now he leaves and he comes out of the West being called by the country he came from looking like it.
Mm-hmm.
Same as me. So it ain't no different. You come
Yeah.
out, you came from America, you're going to be American. Well, sorry, they don't say that. American.
Mm.
See, the E on the end denotes that you are a part of this people. American, don't say no, give them no confusion because they're going to ask you the rest of the questions.
Mm-hmm.
And you better have right answers. If you come out talking crazy, we the bruise.
Who? What?
No, what?
What's that? Is that a religion? What's
It is
that?
a religion because you believe it to be true, though it is not.
Mm-hmm.
It was never the only people call somebody Hebrew in their language were the people of Iran, the people of Babel. They were full of caucasity.
The Napkin Coalition.
The Napkin Coalition. There was a Caucasoid, a Caucasianonemy.
Mm. And he said to his son's daughters, "And where is he? Why did you leave the man? Call him and let him eat bread."
So now they call him and he has to eat this custom and tradition. This man come from this far over here. Surely he is hungry.
But when Reuel knew that Musa had fled from before Pharaoh, he cast him into a pit.
He put him in jail.
But Zipporah, the daughter of his son, maintained him with food secretly for the time of 10 years.
So for 10 years, he is in prison.
Hmm. Mm. And at the end of 10 years, brought him out of the pit.
And at the end of 10 years, she brings him out of the prison.
And Musa went into the bedchamber of Reuel and gave thanks and prayed before Yahweh, who by him would work miracles and mighty acts. And there was shown to him the rod, which was created between the evenings, and on which was engraven and set forth the great and glorious name.
So now he is shown a staff, right? There's this stick, and the great and glorious name is written upon it, right? It was created between the evenings. Now, this foreshadowing has nothing to do with the stick, although the stick is the item being talked about at this point, because the rod of which that Moses used to actually perform the miracles was the word, the memra of the Most High. You see, the Most High revealed his name
To him.
Which is why I keep saying yeah instead of all of the madness in which you guys are talking about. You don't know how to read this language. Okay?
With which he was to do the wonders in Mitzrayim, and to divide the sea of Suf, and to bring forth water from the rock. And it was in fits in the midst of the chamber. And he stretched forth his hand at once and took it. Then behold, Musa was willing to dwell with the man, and he gave Zipporah, the daughter of his son, to Musa.
So now Reuel is the father of Yethro. And he gives Zipporah, the daughter of Yethro, to Musa. And you have to understand why this is happening in this way. The saying goes, there was a test. Whoever could move this stick, because nobody could move it, could take Zipporah for a husband. Now Musa grabs it and he gets the stick, the prophecy, and the wife to go with it. There's no way around it. The stick, the prophecy, and the wife to go with it. It all come together. So continue.
And she bared him a male child, and he called his name Gershom. Because, said he, a sojourner have I been in a strange land which is not mine.
So Gersh is to sojourn. Gershom or the Gershim, this is I'm a sojourning. We were sojourning people. So sojourners.
And it was after many of those days that the king of Mitzrayim was struck with disease.
Pharaoh sick.
And he commanded to kill the firstborn of the sons of Israel, that he might bathe himself in their blood.
So here you go. Here's where all these illuminated ones practice this. Let us get the blood of babies to bathe in it. Okay?
And the sons of Israel groaned with the labor that was hard upon them. And they cried, and their cry ascended to the high heavens of Yah. And he spake in his word to deliver them from the travail.
So now he had already said it. Spake is past tense, meaning it was written and told to Abraham. So now this time has come for me to fulfill what I told you was coming. Is now come, and now I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do the way I said I was going to do it.
And their cry was heard before Yah, and before Yah was the covenant remembered, which he had covenanted with Abraham and with Isaac and with Jacob.
So now the covenant is with them.
Right.
And so now he's going based upon what he said to them. Everybody else is really referencing the understanding that came from them. There ain't nothing in the new book.
Hmm. Hmm.
See? Nothing in new books. So you have to go back to the customs and traditions, and this is what's happening. So moving on.
And Yah looked upon the affliction of the bondage of the sons of Israel, and the repentance was revealed before him, which they exercised in concealment, so as that no man knew that of his companion.
So now the repentance is worked in concealment. So what does that tell you? That means the people who are coming out that are going to come and repent, this is something they're doing privately on their own.
Yeah, ain't nobody come and get them, is it?
Nope. And to work the work of repentance, that they doing it this individual on an individual basis. Same then, same now. Those who come out is coming out on their own. Continue.
But Musa was keeping the flock of Yithro.
Oh, he was a shepherd.
He was a shepherd.
See, I'm telling you, when the Most High picks kings, he takes them from the shepherds. Because the same thing that people need for sheep and how to provide for them,
It's the same for the people.
So this is where he's getting. He's learning the customs and the traditions.
Yeah, because he's been in Pharaoh's house.
Right.
Yethro, his father-in-law, the Rabbah of Midian.
Oh, the chief. So his father was a priest. Where the priesthood go? It's with Jethro now. He's the Rabbah, the chief, the king. He's their everything because they're still under the what? The Melchizedek order. It's not divided among them.
Right.
Continue.
And he had led the flock to a pleasant place of pasturage, which is behind the desert, and had come to the mountain on which was revealed the glory of Yah, even Horeb.
So he went to Horeb first. Let's see what happens here in Horeb.
And Zagnuel, the angel of Yah, appeared to him in a flame of fire in the midst of the bush.
So this the angel he talked to. He don't talk to Mikael. He don't talk to Jabril or Israfil. He's not talking to them, Gabriel or Michael. He's not talking to them two.
He's not even talking to Yah personally.
No, you have to talk to the angel. Which one did he send? I know, the one carrying the scroll. Yeah. How you know he carried a scroll? Listen, I'm trying to tell you, this is tough. It's a tough walk out here. You get the scroll, he come with it, you're going to get it. That's the end. Not what you think. It ain't mystical. Go ahead.
And he gazed, and behold, the bush burned with fire, yet the bush was neither burned nor consumed with fire. And Musa said, I will turn aside now and consider this great sight, why the bush is not burned.
Okay. That's what. Keep going.
And when it was seen before Yah that he turned to look, Yah called to him from the midst of the bush and said, Musa, Musa. And he said, behold me. And he said, approach not hither. Take the shoe from your feet, for the place on which you standest is a holy place. And upon it you ought to receive the law, to teach it to the sons of Israel.
So here's Moses learning the law in Exodus chapter 3 and verse 5.
Yes.
In Midian house. He got the custom and traditions, right? In Midian house. He got the wife he's supposed to get in Midian house. Customs and traditions and wife and walking and shepherding, all this happened in Midian house, so that when he bring the children of Israel out, they go right back into the family. But you don't like when I do it. You don't want it to be me. I know. Don't worry. One step at a time, one day at a time. We continue.
And he said, I am Allah of your father, the Allah of Ibrahim, the Allah of Isaac, and the Allah of Yaqub. And Musa covered his face, for he was afraid to look upon the height of the glory of the Shekinah of Yah.
He was done.
Yeah, he was done. And he said, the oppression of my people who are in Mitzrayim is verily manifest before me. And I heard before me is their cry on account of them who hold them in bondage. For their affliction is known before me. Now, he said, on account of them who hold them in bondage. Okay? So what's their excuse? They're not being held. They can get on a plane and fly out and leave whenever they want to.
That's why we read, and I like making them guilty for what they're not doing. But see, the problem is they don't know where they're going when they get out. So they want to come out and they just want to live the life they live now in another country. They don't know they have to come out and change their whole character.
Everything about what they've known.
Yeah.
All of that has to go.
Yeah.
All that has to be shedded.
And it's difficult.
Yeah.
Because they think there's parts of them that they got right. And they don't know that as we keep working, it goes too.
Yeah. That's why you have to be able to be honest with yourself on what you don't know. And that you're wrong. And that you just don't know it. And it's okay if you don't know. Because that's how you're going to learn.
Watch this, it gets better.
And I have revealed myself to you this day, that by my word they may be delivered from the hand of the Mitzrayim.
By what?
His word.
That means he's getting an instruction on exactly how to do it.
To bring them up out of the unclean land unto a good land and large in its boundaries.
Oh, it's not small.
No, it's not small.
Okay.
A land yielding milk and honey unto the place where dwell the Canaanite and the Hittite,
The Houthi,
and the Amorite and the Phizarite and the Hibuti,
the Hibai,
and the Jebusi. But these are stages.
Oh,
this is not at all at one time.
Right. They all here, but they all different places in a large land.
Right. And they had to go through a process because they had to come out of the unclean land onto a good land. and large in its boundary. So it was a process because they didn't do this all right
It don't come
away.
all together. No, it don't come like that.
And now, behold, the cry of the sons of Israel cometh up before me, and the bruising of the mystery wherewith they bruised them is also revealed before me.
So the cry that you're crying out with and the affliction that you have received, the marks, the bruises, this is all now taken into account. Now, the instructions take these things into account and will mete out what it's supposed to mete out. You're going to follow it either to the right or to the wrong, but it's going to do it anyway.
And we see it wasn't until this time of the cries of the son of Israel. Well, that kind of goes back to what's said in Isaiah about the men and the sons and them going to be dead. They're going to die.
No, that's different.
That's different.
That's totally different. So you have to, if you understand the process.
Yes, sir.
So you're crying because you want to come out, you want to get your own country, you want to be self-sufficient, you want to leave this place. They are mistreating you, right? Black Lives Matter. You're marching around hollering, no justice, no peace, right? You're hollering, oh, this is racist, this is racist, oh, classless, oh my goodness, no, stop, this is a cry. However, when you come out, you have to understand if those who don't choose to accept the option that is being provided, get your plane ticket, get this, you're going to have to come learn and accept the teaching. And there is no other way. If you don't accept this, I'm telling you now, the only other option is war. And the women gonna go through that. You're gonna lose sons. So repentance is on an individual level. You have to decide on what you're gonna do for yourself.
So that's why this migration out, this Hajj out, is different from the Hajj that was
In
then.
Moses' time, this is individual, man to man, mano y mano. Make your choice, make your decision, and walk in it. Everyone is going to suffer losses, but you have to decide for yourself, what are you going to do? We'll be right back after this.
Interesting. Understood.
Good. Check the battery? Yeah, the battery's good. Because I only did one thing on that one. All right.
So many is looking for this particular way. It's not like this.
No. The instruction for our way is in this.
Yes.
But it won't move like this because when we came out in a whole big group without having to be purged, right? Without going through some type of sifting process, you end up losing a whole generation. There's a lost generation.
Yes.
So now you talk about, he's like, I'm not going to do it that time. As they come out, those who are willing, I will accept. The other ones that I purge before they get here, they died. And we'll birth them back in the land at another time. Right? We'll replenish the stock of Israel.
Wow. And now come, and I will send you unto Pharaoh, and you shall bring forth my people, the sons of Israel, out of Mitzrayim.
So notice the Most High keeps saying, Bani Israel. Sons of Israel, not the Israelite.
No.
Bani Israel. And then within this group, you have XYZ, XYZ allocation. There is no Hebrew Israelite. There is only Bani Israel.
Right, the sons of Israel. You're known by your father's house.
Right. And if you're going to be Bani Israel, you have to have the character.
Yes.
You have to have the same job. You have to have the same customs and the same traditions. If you don't get these, you're busted.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Go ahead.
And Musa said before Yahweh, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring forth the sons of Israel out of Mizraim? But he said, therefore, my word shall be for you help. He says that a lot to those who are appointed, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And this shall be the sign to you that I have sent you. When you have brought the people forth from Mizraim, you shall worship before Yahweh, because you shall have received the law upon this mountain.
Mm-hmm. This shall be the sign to you that I have sent you.
Yeah.
When you have brought the people up from Egypt, you shall worship before me. Yeah. Because you shall receive the law upon this mountain. The same one. Come back right there. I meet you right back here when you bring them back here. Well, I met them on Mount Zion. I'm going to bring you back there. But we have to start here in Jordan. You don't like this part, but this is what it is. I didn't write this. I'm just telling you how it works.
And Musa said before Yahweh, behold, I will go to the sons of Israel and say to them,
Yah Allah of your fathers has sent me to you. And they will say to me, what is his name? What do I say to them? And Yah spake unto Moses, he who spake and the world was, who spake and all things were. I am he who is and who will be, has sent me unto you. So it's not the I am that I am.
No.
He says,
I am he who is.
no. Before that, he says, he who I am, said to Moses, who sent me? I'm telling you who sent you. He who spake and the world was, who spoke and all things are. I am he who is and who will be, has sent me unto you. It's the whole phrase.
Yeah, he said the whole thing.
This the whole phrase.
Not just
The one he who spoke and the world was.
Yeah.
And who speaks and all things be. Kum fire kum. You don't know this?
No, they don't. That's Haya.
That word, that saying that I just said is Sufi. The Sufis recite this. Especially in Turkey, the whirling dervishes, they say this, and it's part of the Sufi understanding. So you don't even know, but I just told you the whole thing. So here we go. And Yah spake again unto Moses.
Thus shalt you speak to the sons of Israel.
The Allah of your fathers, the Allah of Abraham, the Allah of Yitzhak, and the Allah of Yaqub has sent me unto you. This is his name forever, and this is his memorial to every generation and generation. Go and assemble the elders of Israel and say to them, the Allah of your fathers hath appeared unto me, the Allah of Ibrahim, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, remembering I have remembered you and the injury that is done to you in the west, in Mitzrayim. And I have said in my word, I will bring you up out from the oppression of the Mitzrayim into the land of Canaan and Huthi and Amori and Pharisi and Hibai and Jebusi to a land that yieldeth milk and honey. And they will hearken to thee, and thou and the elders of Israel shall go to the king of Mitzrayim and say to him, the Yah Allah of the Yiyadi hath called us, and now let us go a journey of 3 days into the wilderness to sacrifice before Yah our Allah. But it is manifest before me that the king of Mitzrayim will not let you go. Not from fear of him who is mighty, until that by my word he shall have been punished with evil plagues.
Okay. It says here that the king of Mitzrayim will not let them go.
From day one,
but that's not what's happening for them. Nobody's telling them they can't go.
No, you can go now, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the door going to get locked.
There's coming to a point where you ain't going to be able to get out.
The door going to get locked. I'm telling you, don't get locked in. I've already said what I'm supposed to say. I'm already doing what I'm supposed to do. I've already went to the UN. I went in 2016 and said this. Now, if you don't want to accept what I did in 2016 and you think that there's going to be something different, you sadly mistaken, buckaroo. I'm telling you right now. I've already done this. And right now, the elders is showing up. I'll tell you something here. They came. I'm telling you, the elders is coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you. Living this word.
Totally different.
It's totally different.
They here today. There's elders here.
Yeah, there's elders here. Seriously.
I'm telling you, there's elders here.
Yeah, they came. They came. Yeah, they did.
Said, go and assemble the elders. The elders is assembled in here.
Yeah, they are.
You might want to be here because what's getting ready to come is the 250 plagues.
Yep.
Not 10.
Yep, 250.
One word, 2 different times. How it's played out is different, but the result is same. Well, continue.
And you will be hindered there until I have sent forth the stroke of my
See,
power.
I told you. You said they could go. I was like, it's only for a time they're going to get locked in. Listen, you don't get out. You will be on lockdown until it's over. So from the time it starts, whoop-de-doo, too bad for you. You got to go through. See, you will be hindered there. There is Mitzrayim until I have sent forth the stroke of my power and have smitten Mitzrayim with all my wonders. Well, the wonders is coming.
Yep, 250. That I will do among them.
And afterwards, he will release you. So if you want to see the 250 plagues, Jeremiah said, you don't want to see this. Pack your bags, get your stuff together. Don't leave in haste. Make sure you pack yourself some clothes. You get yourself some, personal items. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff we can leave behind that we kind of really don't need. But
you're basic.
Bring your stuff and come. Okay? But like clothes. You don't need like stuff.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No. Mhm.
You don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Continue.
And I will give this people grace in the eyes of the mystery. And it shall be that when you go free from thence, you shall not go empty. You know, many of them gonna wait.
Because they don't want to come
Go out
empty.
empty. They don't want to go out empty. So they gonna hold out for that promise, hoping to be able to get that reparation.
Okay.
But a woman
A woman
shall ask of her neighbor,
of her neighbor.
and from those next to the wall of her house.
So these the next door neighbors, they close.
And the
The
woman
women.
does this. Vessels of silver
Any old broken silver, any kind of silver,
and vessels of gold
any gold,
and vestments.
and clothes. Clothes. This is what you're supposed to bring. Silver, gold, and clothes. No, not your hoochie mama stuff.
No.
Get you some dresses and get leggings and dresses together and some scarves. You're gonna need them a lot.
Yeah. And you shall set them as crowns upon your sons and your daughters and make the mitzvah empty.
Okay.
And Musa answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken to me, for they will say, Yah have not appeared to me, to thee. And Yah said to him, what is that in your hand? And he said, the rod.
So Moses had the rod or the stick. I have the rod, the law. You're gonna get hit with this. I'm gonna tell you. Listen. You're gonna get hit with this rod. This is the only one I got to hit you with. This hurt more than Moses. You're gonna wish somebody had a stick. Go ahead.
And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it to the ground, and it became a serpent. And Musa fled from before it.
He got the listen.
We don't want the smoke.
He got the hell out of there. Snake, I'm out. I'm good. I don't need no. No, I'm not with this. I'm not with it. But the Most High is preparing Moses because he wants to have this grand show. He knows the tricks and the magic that the Mitzrayim like to play and claim they can do. So now he's going to play with them. You know, there's a little game that's getting ready to come out. It's a little play. There's a script. So here we go. First, the sticks and the snakes.
And Yah said to Musa, stretch forth your hand and seize it by its tail. And he stretched forth his hand and grasped it, and it became the rod in his hand.
So now it became back the stick. All right, next.
In order that they may believe that Yah, Allah of their fathers, the Allah of Ibrahim, the Allah of Isaac, and the Allah of Yaqub hath revealed himself to thee. And Yah said to him again, put now your hand within your breast. Koba. And he put it within his breast and withdrew it. And behold, his hand was leprous. It was white as snow.
Now listen to this. Listen to this. I want y'all to understand something. All of these tricks, right, that he is talking to is because he said his own people wouldn't hearken to him. So the snake and this hand trick is so he could get you to listen.
Because you're hard-headed.
Not Pharaoh, because he knew Pharaoh wasn't going to listen anyway.
But you.
This and all this magic was for you.
Because, you know, they like
You wanted signs and wonders.
they like to be entertained.
Yeah, y'all need entertainment. Yeah, Moses. Listen, I seen him. He threw a stick down, and it became a snake. And everybody, oh, Moses got that kind of power. Oh, the Most High must be with him. He got power, yo. I seen him stick his hand like this. It came out white. Then he put it in his stomach, and it came out regular. This dude, he the truth, yo. He's him. You needed the magic show. You won't get one this time.
No.
No.
There's no magic show on this
You
plane.
won't get one this time.
And he said, return your hand into your bosom.
Aitah.
Aitah. And he returned his hand to his breast and withdrew it from his breast, and it had become clean as his flesh. And if they believe not these two signs, nor receive from you, you shall take of the water of the river and pour it on the ground, and the water that you shall take from the river will become blood upon the ground.
Hold on now, listen. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
We haven't left the mountain the first time, and the Most High has given Moses the whole playbook of what's going to happen. We in chapter what? 4. It feels like we in chapter 15. Why? The Most High is telling him, here's the playbook, here's everything I'm getting ready to do, and this is exactly how I'm getting ready to do it, and this is what you're going to do, this is what they have to do to accept, and if they don't accept, whoever don't accept, I'll kill them. Sound familiar, right? Oh, I know.
Now, their water became blood. And the water over there, after you've been giving these signs to them,
Listen.
got acid.
Listen, it says the fish will dry up. It's going to kill all the fish. The water will become unpleasant and you can't drink it and all of this. I know it says that. They don't listen. I read all the plagues I already read in the Night of Memorials.
You sure did.
There's a whole playlist called Night of Memorials. You can read it, right? I blew the plagues into the wind 2 times. They only got the first one. The second time is getting ready to come yet again. But they don't want to accept.
No, they don't.
So it's okay. It's called Night of Memorials. You can look it up because it had to be performed in the land. Okay? So you can go see it. It's all right. I'll continue my work and you guys can do what you want. I'm not worried about whether you see signs and wonders because it's going to be regardless. It doesn't depend on your belief. Belief is not, nor never has it been required when the Most High says he's going to do a thing. So don't believe. I don't need your belief. Your obedience to what I'm telling you is to help you save your own life. Get on the plane and then just come out here on a random and see what happened. Because I know what happens. It's my phone. It rings.
Yeah.
Get on the plane, go to some other country and see what happens. I tell you. Problem. And then my phone, it rings. You don't like what I have to say. You don't like what I'm teaching. You don't like what I tell you. This fine. Okay? Just remember in your day of sorrow, in your day of trouble, you rejected my words. So when you come, you still have to accept it because this is all you have to get. That's it. She laughing because she knows it's true.
My goodness.
See? I'm trying to help you. My words for you is only good. The only difficult part you have to change. But my word to you is only good. I'm not here for punishment. I'm here for preservation. I keep saying that.
Yeah.
Over and over again. I'm not here for punishment. Most I don't need no help over there. You don't need no help with that. I'm here for preservation from the punishment.
You gotta want to be preserved.
Oh. Look. All right. That's it. I'm done.
Okay, sir.
I'm done. It's been a long day.
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's been a long day. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back tomorrow. Let me go put this some nice little small little lesson up.
Yeah.
And we gonna get to this and get some understanding. All right.
Yeah.
We started Moses' judgment now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we out of here.
Yeah.
One step at a time, one day at a time.
One.